Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and if this is your first time here, welcome. Every week we put up all sorts of videos teaching you everything you need to know about making repairs around your house, remodeling, the toughest engineering problems you'll ever come up with when you're working on your house. And so I just wanted to remind you that this is a great opportunity at this point for you to remember to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button down below, and make sure you also click on that bell icon, because it doesn't make any sense to subscribe without hitting the bell icon. The bell icon is what tells you that there's a new video that we've just put up. It alerts you, so make sure you do that. And if you have any questions at all, leave them down in the comments below and we'll get them answered for you. So let's get right onto it. So here you can see we're sort of in the process of putting up our Schluter Kerdi boards here that we're going to be using as our waterproof substrate, because see, these boards here are very lightweight, they're easy to use, and there's a fleece, a waterproof fleece that's already attached to it here. So these are the boards we're going to be using, and then we seal up all the seams with the Kerdi band. Now the thing is, Schluter specifies an unmodified thinset to be used on this product. Why does it have to be unmodified? And that has to do with the way that the thinset cures. So if I was to use this bag right here of this modified thinset, even though that's a really good product, it would void my warranty with Schluter if I used it here on here, because it has a polymer modified thinset. And so what happens is this type of thinset here needs what we call an evaporative type of curing. And a full cure on it would theoretically take about 28 days, because you're putting this thinset up against a waterproofed type backing here. There's nowhere for it to go, nowhere for the thing to evaporate, and you're putting an impervious tile up against it. So you're trapping the thinset in there. How's it going to dry and cure if it's polymer? You'd have to let this thing sit here for a month before you could grout the tile. Well, nobody's going to do that. So if you were to just blindly grab this bag off the shelf and put your tiles onto this wall, it's going to fail at some time in the future. And that's where a lot of tilers make a mistake, because they don't understand the basic difference between unmodified thinset and a modified thinset. Now, the unmodified thinset does better in a situation like this, where you have the impervious waterproofing membrane with the impervious tile up against it. It will cure better with moisture in the thinset. So, you know, many times over the years, if you watch any of those shows like Mike Holmes or what's the other one I think of, Rescue My Renovation, a lot of times those guys will be called in and you'll see that the person had the best intentions, and they used like Schluter Ditra on the floor, but they laid it over plywood and they used a modified thinset, and 6 months later the thing's still not cured because the moisture's trapped in there, and the whole entire installation failed on them. So you could use the best of products here, but if you use the wrong thinset, even though that's a high quality thinset, you will void your warranty. So I hope this explains it perfectly for you, why we use an unmodified thinset on here. Okay. The problem is, if you go to the store to buy thinset, unmodified thinset, you're going to be looking at bags that are $5 a bag up to $15 a bag. Don't buy the cheapy $5 ones. Get the ones that are closer to $15. They're usually much higher quality. Now let me throw a monkey wrench into the works here for you, because what we're going to use here on this product, on this tile installation, is a new product that Schluter came out with here. And it's a thinset here. And the one that I'm going to use here is called Schluter All Set. But you might notice something funny about this. You go, look at this. Hey, this is specialized modified mortar. Wait a minute, this is a modified thinset. It says it right there, right? Modified thinset. So now you're probably really confused, and you're going, wait a minute, Jeff, you just went on this whole soliloquy telling us not to use a modified thinset. Why are you now using this Schluter modified thinset on your tile installation there? Well, the reason we can get away with it is Schluter has entire control over the entire process. They know which modifiers they can put into this formula that will work specifically for their product. It's an engineered thinset that works directly with their product. And it works on Ditra, it works on the Kerdi panel. So because they control it, they can do this. And it says right on there, it says engineered for use both over and under Ditra and Kerdi products. So, and it also says on this, see, sag resistant, suitable for large and heavy tile applications. So this sounds to me like it's, you know, the best of both worlds. So here we go. I'm going to show you this other bag of it. If you look here, it says here that this meets or exceeds the ANSI A118.4, .11, and .15. So this makes this a really super high-end premium type of mortar, because it handles, this 118.15 standard is an improved polymer modified thinset standard here. And you notice how it has the T? That's your confirmation that this will work with, it's a no sag that is made for large format tiles. So this to me is the best of the best. This is probably going to be the best bag of mortar we've ever used in tile. So we'll find out. This is fairly new. It just came out this year. And we have a pretty good confidence that we're going to get a great installation from this. So I would imagine you could use this on just about anything, any kind of tile installation that you want to do. And the other thing you always want to do to avoid screwing things up, you could buy the best mortar and everything and still screw it up by not mixing it properly. I just want to show you, most manufacturers show you very clearly what they want you to do, and this is pretty similar amongst most of them. They usually want you to use 5.5 to 6 quarts of water. You dump it in the bucket first. You never put the powder in first, otherwise you're going to get clumps if you put the water on top of the powder. Water always goes in first. Powder gets added. You stir it up, and this is the part you always want to pay attention to. See how it says right there? 300 RPMs. They don't want you to whip it up at high speed, because it's like whipping up egg whites, you know, and you get all the air and fluffiness in there. Then when you set your tile in it, the tile sinks, so you don't want to do that. And then you have to let it slake for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes is done, that's when it's all the chemical reactions are completing. And then after that, you stir it for another 3 minutes, and then you're ready to go. But most of your manufacturers have these instructions on the back, and you have to very, very carefully make sure you're adhering to all of those instructions, okay? And then I just wanted to quickly show you the grout that we're going to use. I always like to use a sanded grout whenever possible. So anytime I have a grout line that's 1/8 of an inch or more, you can use sanded grout. Now some people are erroneously under the impression, oh, if I have an 1/8 inch, I can't use a sanded grout. You can. So before we sign off, let me just remind you to subscribe so that you can come back and binge watch all sorts of repair videos anytime you want. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell icon, because it doesn't make any sense at all to subscribe without getting notified when we put up a new video. You will not get notified unless you click on that bell. All right, that's it for this week, and we'll see you next week.